Welcome. In this e-learning module, I shall explain and make you understand tool materials for all the make parts of the press tool. Before we proceed, let's recall the die structure. The press tool assembly consists of the die assembly and the punch assembly. The die plate, the die backplate, the die shoe, the strip guide plates, the strip support plate, the locator pin, the strip pusher, the guide pillars, and the stroke end block are all the make parts of the die assembly. The blanking punch, the stripper plate, the punch holder, the punch backplate, the top plate, and the guide bush are all the make parts of the punch assembly. To make the parts, we will have to buy the raw material and machine the raw material. After making the parts, we will have to assemble them to build the die assembly, punch assembly, and press tool. As you are already aware, all the parts of the press tool are made of steel, and most of the critical parts of the press tool are made of tool steel. Three essential properties of tool steels are: Number 1, machinability. Number 2, wear resistance. Number 3, toughness. Machinability is the ease with which a metal can be machined. Wear resistance is to resist the loss of material from a surface. Toughness is the ability of a material to absorb energy. Usually, the tooling industry follows the ASTM American Standards for Material Specifications. ASTM is the American Society for Testing in Materials. Now let's understand the recommended material for the make parts of the press tool, as per their functionality. The die shoe and the top plate support the die structure. That is, the die shoe and the top plate support all the parts of the press tool. The most desired property is machinability. The die shoe and top plate's recommended material is A36, carbon structural steel, as per ASTM A36. The die plate and the blanking punch shears the sheet metal. They tend to wear fast. Hence a very high wear resistance is the most desired property. The recommended material for the blanking punch and the die plate is D2, high carbon, and high chromium tool steel, as per ASTM A681. Heat treating the die plate to HRC 58 to 60 and the blanking punch to HRC 56 to 58 is recommended. The blanking punch's hardness is slightly lesser to make sure the blanking punch wears first, as manufacturing the blanking punch is easier. The stripper plate holds the strip. During each stroke, the stripper plate comes and hits the strip. The stripper plate should be able to absorb energy. The most desired property is toughness and wear resistance. The stripper plate's recommended material is 4140 alloy steel, as per ASTM A29. The die backplate and the punch backplate support the die plate and the blanking punch. They need to absorb the energy coming from the die plate and the blanking punch. Hence toughness is the most desired property. The die backplate and the punch backplate recommended material is A2, air hardening chromium alloy tool steel, as per ASTM A681. Heat treating the die backplate and the punch backplate to HRC 48 to 52 is recommended. The punch holder holds and positions the punch. The most desired property is machinability. The recommended material for the punch holder is A36, carbon structural steel, as per ASTM A36. The strip guide plates and the strip support plate locate and support the strip. The most desired property is wear resistance. The recommended material for the strip guide plates and the strip support plate is A2, air hardening chromium alloy tool steel, as per ASTM A681. Heat treating the strip guide plates and the strip support plate to HRC 54 to 56 is recommended. The strip pusher pushes, and the locator pin locates the strip. The most desired property is wear resistance. The recommended material for the strip pusher and the locator pin is A2, air hardening chromium alloy tool steel, as per ASTM A681. Heat treating the strip pusher and the locator pin to HRC 54 to 56 is recommended. The guide pillar and guide bush aligns the die assembly and the punch assembly. Friction exists between the guide pillar and guide bush. The most desired property is anti-friction. The recommended material for the guide pillar and guide bush is 52100 grade bearing steel, as per ASTM A295. Heat treating the guide pillar to HRC 56 to 58 is recommended. Heat treating the guide bush to HRC 54 to 56 is recommended. The guide bush's hardness is slightly lesser to make sure the guide bush wears first, as manufacturing the guide bush is easier. It is also not uncommon for tool designers and toolmakers to use standard guide pillars and guide bushes. The stroke end block is used to set the bottom dead center. The stroke end block's recommended material is 1045 grade carbon steel, as per ASTM 829. A variety of tool steels are available for selection. Each company, every tool designer, will have their own preference for tool steel selection based on their experience. The tool steels recommended in this e-learning module can be a good start for first-time designers. With this, we have successfully learned about tool materials for all the make parts of the press tool. That's all in this e-learning module. Thanks.